Change the daylight savings. Wasn't a problem.
We will hear.
It's distracted me already.
It was.
That's why I made him move down the seats.
He's got his name up, hasn't he? You have your own name, you carry with your own name in the bag. You've got a bag.
I asked him if I had Warrington Town. It's a great sound.
It'll stay at 5:59 for two.
It's getting there. 10 seconds.
That's right, we're waiting for the clock.
Wait for the clock to start and be 6 or 7. Whichever.
There we go.
It was-
There it is, it's 6.
Oh, also,
Oh, yeah.
oh yes, hold on. We're missing one. Sorry.
There he is.
You're gonna sit down at just right as soon as you need
Sorry.
to. Craig, can you get
Since
this?
you're up, can you get the
Oh, what am I clicking?
Already way over there.
No,
No.
he meant that, Alan.
Oh, the other.
But Craig was up. We've got to give him things to do. He was bored.
Good evening. Welcome to the May 4th, 2026 Board of Supervisors meeting, New Britain Township. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to God of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The board met in executive session before this meeting to discuss personnel and litigation issues. Our first item on the agenda is a presentation by Birdtown, PA. Heidi, come on up.
Evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
It's okay for me to sit here then. and-
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations on being a new Birdtown. I'm delighted to be here and I'm just sharing a little bit about the program and what it's all about, okay? And
Okay.
if you feel to jump in, if you have any questions or comments. So I always like to start with our mission. Birdtown, Pennsylvania works in partnership with local municipalities like yourselves and like-minded organizations to promote community-based conservation actions to create a healthier, more sustainable environment for birds, wildlife, and people. We've been actively engaged in the state, working with municipalities for the last 15 years and now across 17 counties. We're under the umbrella of PA Audubon Council, and we partner with various conservation groups, including We Conserve PA, Audubon chapters, and the Bird City Network. We're continuing to expand our program. There are a total of 104 bird towns now across the state, including 3 cities, Harrisburg, Easton, and Williamsport. I'm excited to share too that Philadelphia just passed a resolution as well. We're part of the Bird City Network. This includes over 300 communities across 13 states and 4 countries. So there's bird towns and bird cities sprinkled all over the US. They're supported by the American Bird Conservancy and the Environment for the Americas. So they work together independently to address issues with birds and bird conservation. And I'm really proud to say that we're the largest program in the network and one of the founding members. So a little bit about PA Audubon Council. So there are 20 Audubon chapters across the state. The purpose of the PA Audubon Council is to serve the chapters and advocate for conservation and preservation of birds. They also work to share resources and ideas and collaborate together. They're a 501c3, so they're a charitable organization. And we work with the Audubon Chapter Network to help establish bird towns across Pennsylvania. So locally here, we have Bucks County Birders. This is a birding club that we work with closely. They were established in 2003. They hold monthly meetings with speakers and field trips. They also provide possible support for your events and bird walks. So if you have an event coming up, you need some help, you can always reach out to Bucks County Birders. They also do advertising for our events, which is wonderful. And they're also providing support for the bird habitat recognition program. So why are we focusing on birds? Birds help keep our ecosystems running smoothly. Birds eat over 400 to 500 million tons of insects per year. They also help scavenge carcasses, reducing diseases such as rabies, distemper, and plague. They also provide important pollination services, and they also keep those mice and rat populations down. They're truly astounding and beautiful and bring us joy. And I just can't, they're just amazing. So right now we're in the middle of migration. I always like to mention the, how many of the birds can travel as much as 10,000 miles, just one way and another 10,000 miles. the other way. So that's just amazing. We have a lot of birds coming in right now. We had over 200,000 cross over Bucks County last night.
Wow.
The wood thrush are coming in, rose-breasted grosbeaks are starting to come through, so hopefully you'll be seeing them soon. Birds are everywhere, and we're watching them. 100 million bird watchers are in the US, and they're spending $108 billion. Birds are also important. They let us know that the environment is healthy. They're very sensitive to toxins and pollutants and can serve as an early warning sign that something is wrong in our environment. And I'm sorry to say there is, because their populations are really in steep decline. Breeding bird surveys show populations decline ranging from anywhere to 30 to 77% or more, and the numbers are still dropping. Look at the report from 2025, just last year, the US State of the Birds report. They find that birds are continuing to decline. 1/3 of US bird species are of high or moderate conservation concern, including birds that we're readily aware of and see in our yards, such as robins. So one of the causes of these declines, the major threats to bird populations are loss and fragmentation of habitat. There's over 40 million acres of lawns in the US, with 2 million here in PA. Lawns provide no services for birds or wildlife. There's no place for them to shelter or eat or get water. Cats are another big problem. 2.4 billion birds a year are killed by cats. Window collisions are also a big problem. Glass is very confusing for birds. Having those lights on at night really draws the birds down as they're migrating through. Then they find themselves in an unsafe space in the morning and then have collisions. It's not just about skyscrapers, it's even here in our communities. Pesticides are a problem, climate change, invasive species, and plastics are all issues that birds are contributing to their decline. So we work to address these issues through engagement, education, encouragement, support, inspiration, and promoting awareness. These are a number of different activities that a municipality can choose to do. So they can hold a native plant pop-up garden, they can install and demonstration native plant garden, they can develop proclamations, resolutions, and ordinances to address these issues, such as invasives or native plants, pesticides, and so on. They can support and run citizen science programs, such as the Great Backyard Bird Count. They can also address reducing bird window strikes and pesticide use, and so on. So we provide for your municipality a statewide structured program with congruous goals, concrete resources and achievable actions, and a framework for community networking with other bird towns and conservation partners that include avenues for communication, events, volunteer opportunities, and citizen science projects, and more. There's over 18 different bird towns here in Bucks County, so there's a lot of collaboration possible, especially here in Central Bucks. We have Chalfont, we have New Britain Borough, we have Doylestown Township, Doylestown Borough, Buckingham, and then Soulbury. So there's a whole bunch of us right here that we often work together. We also offer free training and workshops for our bird town leaders and more opportunities and success in obtaining funding. I'm really proud to say that we received a DCNR C2P2 grant. So this was awarded for us to be using funds for providing $31,000 mini grants. So we're in the process of creating that structure, and hopefully we'll have it up and running by July. This money is also to support our in-person regional bird town clutch meetings. So we have a meeting for Bucks County coming up on June 7th that will be held at Peace Valley Nature Center. We have a wonderful website. It includes a rich array of resources. It gives a list of all our bird towns and conservation partners. And then we created a special back page just for the bird town leaders that includes contact lists, workshop and meeting supplements and recordings, and sample proclamations, resolutions, and ordinances, and so on. We also have a number of ways of communicating and networking together. We have 2 newsletters. One is a Bird Town Flyer. This is a bi-monthly newsletter that gives information to our bird town leaders about what's happening in the program. Also, there's Bird Beat. This is a quarterly community newsletter to inspire and inform your residents about actions they can take during different seasons and how they can support them. And then finally, we have the Bird Town Forum. This is a private Facebook page with over 300 members. This is a place where bird town leaders can share about what's coming up, and then also inspirational material. This is our series for 2026 for our Bird Town Leader Virtual Workshop Series. We have just 4 this year. We're also collaborating very closely with Bird City Network that offers a number of workshops as well. So the next one is not till September 17th. Rob Christopher is going to be sharing with us about their microforest that they created up in the city of Easton. So bird towns organized under 4 different categories. One is creating and protecting habitat, addressing threats to birds, educating and engaging people, and promoting sustainability. This is an example of what these different categories have and what our best practices or goals. So under, for example, creating and protecting habitat, best practices or goals would be promoting best management of community habitat, creating and protecting habitat, promoting native plants, controlling invasive plants, and so on. So under each category, there's these different goals. And then under those are different activities that your bird town committee can choose to work with you as the municipality. We are a certification program, so you're currently a green level. Means that you're a brand new bird town. You have a year to move up to bronze, silver, and gold. And we work with you, checking in to make sure everything is working well. If you have any questions and if there's anything that we can do to support you to move forward. We do have an annual report. This is due January 31st. This provides accountability and transparency about what's going on. This is the worksheet that each of the committees can use. These are the categories, goals, and actions worksheet. So just like I had showed that graph before, that table before, this guide teases out underneath each of those different categories and goals, the different actions that they can take. So they can pick and choose what makes sense to inspire and guide them. It's numbered and color coded for easy tracking. And this is the welcome packet I went over with your committee about the different things they have access to now as a bird town. So congratulations, New Britain Township, for being a bird town. So yeah, woohoo.
Can we get a photo with our bird town?
I just want to say a huge thank you to your Bird Town committee for all the work that they've done. Margaret's been instrumental in pulling all this together, and I really appreciate all your support and interest in this program. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for me at all?
No, I think we're well on our way.
Awesome, good. Thank you.
Come on up and,
All of you guys like to stand up too?
no, we'll sit back here.
I agree.
I think you guys are the ones doing the work, so you deserve to be in the picture. Why don't you come up here?
Stand up.
Stand up.
For the register.
Stand up.
Stand up, then they can.
Take a selfie.
Coming back, guys.
Come all the way back.
Yeah,
We're going back.
keep on coming. As long as we can see Alex.
Yep. Smile.
Yep.
Switch cameras on. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming, for presenting.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Hope to see you again soon. Now let's give them to Ryan and he's gonna have to put them somewhere.
Say congratulations. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Open, thank you.
Those are our signs, which I guess we'll be posting somewhere on the street.
You'll get him a window cling.
I'm sure we can get you a little cardboard poster if you want one.
Keep the bird from hitting this.
Yeah. Lots of clings. He can get the clings.
And next, item number 5, I'm sorry, 4B, 5 New Galena Road Sketch Plan, Granite Creek Properties. Hello?
Nate Fox from Overmeyer with Bill Chant of Granite Creek Properties. We have some packets of information on it might be duplicative of our sketch plan request. I have it if anyone would like a hard copy.
I think,
Is it what you've submitted?
It's yet renderings, architectural plans, sketch plan.
I think it's in our packet.
They can have everything.
that.
Great. So we had met with the staff to go over conceptual conversion of an existing 7,500 or square foot manufacturing building at 5 New Galena Road. The last occupying business was a sign company, I believe, and long time ago, I believe it was a pants factory.
It's a Pantaloon, yeah, making bloomers in
Pantaloons
the 1800s.
Pantaloons factory.
Hence, I have a great picture. Yeah.
Hence the name of the hopeful multifamily building would be the Pantaloons Lofts.
Yeah.
So what we're hoping to talk through are any comments and feedback you have to the proposal. We know we need zoning relief, but we'd like to talk to the Planning Commission and EAC prior to going to the zoning hearing board. We also note in the Gilmore and Associates letter, recommend meeting with the fire chief. One thing that did come out of our staff meeting was township ordinance requires sprinklers. And there is a water main at the corner of Hilltown Pike and New Galena Road. So we're working through obtaining an easement to connect to make sure that we can have sprinklers at the property. But the overall premise, it's adaptive reuse of the existing building. We'd like to get 6 units as there are significant costs required to get the building back to a serviceable and really an aesthetic condition consistent with some of Mr. Chant's other projects. This is not the first project that Mr. Chant has done. We've worked together on projects in Percy and Hilltown. And this is, in addition to his full-time job, this is something he does, taking older buildings and adaptively reusing them into rental properties. And this is an ideal one. Granite Creek Properties does already own the property, bought it about almost a year or so ago.
Yeah, give or take.
Give or take. So
Yep.
going through the process, looking at the building, this is not something that's half cooked. Phil spent a lot of time, effort, and energy thinking through what this would look like. But we're really here asking for your thoughts, feedback, comments. We're happy to talk through anything particularly. And hope you'll note that the renderings and architectural plans show the amount of time, effort, and energy Mr. Chant has put into this, and how much he'd like to do this project and do it in a way that we hope is seen as positive.
Stephanie, do you want to start?
First question, is it apartments or condos?
Apartments.
Rental, not owned.
Yes.
You said rental, right?
Shall we come back to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just the way I was thinking about it a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Bill, are you?
Let's bring up one of my favorite topics whenever you're talking apartments or condos. Parking. You're having how many units? 6? And how many parking spaces are you allocating per unit?
So there are 12 shown on the plan, and consistent with what Mr. Chant does in other places is you control that with the lease agreement. If there's required to be guest spaces or an ADA space, some of the units may only be able to have one vehicle per their lease. And that is something that's not uncommon in a building like this, where it's not say an apartment complex where it's been built from the ground up. And when you're reusing a facility, it's a different tenant profile, where they're folks that are looking for more a unit with some character and acknowledging that, they may not have the amenities like other buildings. And tell me if that's consistent with, I think we've talked about that at your other properties, that you offer something unique, but they don't have everything that an apartment complex might.
No, it doesn't have the gym, doesn't have the pool, that kind of stuff, obviously. But it's what I'll call modern industrial. Brick walls, the original floors, things like that, but all modern appliances, all modern granite countertops, all that good stuff. We showed examples, I think, before of some of this.
We've seen the
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
Back to my main question though. All right, so you have 12 parking spots.
Mhm.
And I'm a tenant there and I decide to have 3 or 4 of my friends over. Where are they gonna park?
Well, not there.
And where would that place be then?
I don't know. Honestly.
Okay,
I think there's a risk that it ends up being in the neighboring properties, neighboring businesses.
Perhaps.
So there's not gonna,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying about the lease, but
Yeah.
I think parking is a concern.
Mhm.
Telling people they only have one spot, there's nobody there regulating that.
This is true. But I will say, in our defense, the existing uses that the building has been used for would have had significantly more parking problems. And I don't think anybody's complained about it or they had any issues with it. That they had trucks coming in and trucks going out and all that kind of stuff too. I think we can, based on what I have in other buildings, with 1-bedroom apartments, a lot of them just have one car because it's just one person.
Bridget?
So I'm actually a neighbor to this property. It's within walking distance from my home, so I'm very familiar with the road, the area, the road conditions, safety conditions. I want to start by saying, I think most people would definitely like to see something other than the old display sign buildings.
It is an eyesore.
It is a nice one. I acknowledge that.
Yes.
And the old garage and stuff that's there. But again, the concern is safety. That is a very dangerous intersection at Hilltown and Hilltown and, sorry, where New Galena abuts Hilltown, Hilltown Pike. That there's a lot of car accidents and there is some concern about getting in and out. So my concern is not so much with your plan for this, but if there is a way to reduce the number of units while still making it profitable for you, like maybe by making a 2-bedroom or something so we can reduce maybe the need. I'm not sure if that's possible. And then the other thing that even though this brick looks lovely, right across the homes are, as you said, it was from the 1800s of Pantaloon factory.
Yeah.
So it's quite old and the buildings right there are all very old, like historic colonials all along that area. Personally, I might like to see something a little bit more historic on the outside. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe that.
Yeah.
But my main concern is safety, getting into and out of,
Sure.
and that there is, I believe, a CPA that's right there that has, it's not shared because there's a
Yeah.
separation. There's a curb there, but that people would be like, oh, well, it's past 5 p.m. And I mean, I don't know, during tax season, that might be a very active space to be going to the CPA in the
I've never
evening.
seen that in there, to be honest
yeah.
with you, but.
But you know, that would
it's
be a
valid.
concern
Your
and,
concern's valid.
you know, what would we do? And you certainly can't have on-street parking. And I would say there is a slot that you have sort of in the front. I do not think that would be safe at all, just from a pedestrian getting out of your car point of view.
There right now, there's a car parked there as we speak.
There's a car.
It's what the neighbors, they use that as a parking space, interestingly enough. I don't know who it is. It's got New York plates on it, but it's
Oh
always
my
there.
goodness. Because it's so dangerous. I have taken my life into my hands, walking up there, walking my children up to get to their friend's house.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I
there
wouldn't
is
want that.
there is no sidewalk. Well, there is an 1800 sidewalk that's about this wide. People were smaller then. No, I don't know. But it doesn't even go up the length of,
But let me address what you said about the 2-bedroom. I think putting a 2-bedroom in there might make it worse because there'd be 2 people, 2 cars.
okay.
And I think that would make the problem worse.
I'm just trying to think
Yeah, I understand.
creatively to solve the issue that I know some people were, and we did even receive a letter saying they were very opposed because of just the danger of that intersection there.
I
So,
think that the intersection itself is absolutely dangerous, but we're set back from that intersection. And typically that traffic backs up pretty far.
it does.
It's at that intersection. So where I see the intersection is an issue, I don't think the driveway to the building's an issue because you're not whipping out of that fast. You're not going anywhere because of the traffic that backs up there.
Yeah.
But I do agree, the Hilltown intersection,
It's the Hilltown intersection.
yeah.
That's the one that I think
but
is,
we're set back and we're not really, what I'll say, part of that, if you will.
yeah. I mean, it just, as long as it's not rush hour, like 8:30 to 10 in the morning or 3 to 4:30.
I think getting in, even at those rush hour times, because the traffic backs up so much that you'd have to wait to turn in there anyway, because you're not just driving up to the driveway.
That is correct.
Because it goes way back, because I've sat in
Yeah.
that many times. Yeah.
And I think the benefit with this use versus somebody coming in with trying to repurpose it for commercial or industrial, you're not going to have trucks. You're not going to have the rush hour, so to speak, of an employee shift. You know, I think you can speak to your tenants. You have a fair number that work
They work from
from
home.
home.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Mhm.
not a whole lot of
Yeah.
activity in and out, and certainly less in the AM peak and PM peak hours versus a business that's constantly getting deliveries and
Right.
folks coming in and out to do various things.
Cynthia.
Well, Stephanie stole my question about, so you would be planning to rent these and you're the landlord who looks after the building? Okay, and
Oh, he didn't answer that yet.
he nodded.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
He nodded.
Thank you.
Sorry.
We're taping this, so we do.
Oh,
need
okay,
to
good.
like that,
Yeah.
Just like in court.
Yeah.
Um, and then you were going to maintain, there is 2 floors at the moment. There's only 2 floors and you would just
It
be,
was be 2 floors.
and just gutting it from the outside. Okay.
Yep.
You would have to gut that, I would imagine. I've never even been in there.
Not,
It-
not.
There's a hole in the roof. I
rotating.
mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's in disrepair.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
I'm just gonna say I have a concern with the parking.
Mhm.
Because the area is with the zone village residential.
It's village, the village. did.
There's no place else
Yeah.
nearby that you're gonna be able to park.
Mhm.
I can't have friends over more than, I have no parking.
I mean, I can think of things that they might be able to do, but I think our concern, especially that spot right on the street, is problematic. I love the idea of repurposing it and keeping the original features.
Mhm.
I congratulate you on that. I love that idea. Our concern, of course, is safety.
Mhm.
And I think that probably there's someone else in this room that can speak to
Safety.
that issue. But going back to you, Stephanie, if you've got anything else?
No, I think everything was answered.
Actually, I do have another question. There's one here that says bedroom 2. Is that,
Oh, that's right. It's the architect did put a 2-bedroom on one of them. You're right. You're right. On the one that has the extra room.
yeah, one on one floor, so that
Yeah,
would be like
That
a,
could be a 1-bedroom.
That would be a one-bedroom.
That could be a one. Yeah, it could be. He put the extra bedroom in there.
Yeah.
is that already
that-
there? Is that part of the
Yeah, it is.
building?
It is there.
Yeah,
So it
that's
comes
the-
out at that
Mhm.
spot.
yeah, that's on the first
Yeah.
floor, on the first floor bump out.
What do we knock that down and put a parking space there?
I mean, worst idea.
Is that on the,
It's on the far side of the building.
That's on the back.
away from Hilltown Pike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so how big are the,
Sorry, does the property line go all the way to the like wood divider there?
I see the little bump out.
yeah.
Yeah, but is that the property line?
You could fit one there.
Yeah, so there's yeah, you could fit one parking space there. Because you don't have room on the side yard to maneuver around without encroaching onto the Lighty Properties driveway. So could be a single vehicle space on the side.
And those circular
because that's-
stairs, those are the egresses, are they?
No, they'd be out of the way. The fire escape would be out of the way.
Yeah.
That wouldn't affect the fire escape.
No, I was just wondering, those are the fire escapes. Is that what? the-
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And how big are each of these apartments, just roughly?
I got square footage on there.
They
I
are,
think about 1,000 square feet.
Okay,
yes, they're
not really
they're right-
if you're entertaining.
900 and change.
So they're not huge apartments. by
Yeah.
any means. They're not small, but they're not.
That's a big apartment for a 1-bedroom.
No, I was gonna say, it's not like somebody's going to be having massive.
Yeah,
parking.
they're really, the way the building's laid out, almost a perfect rectangle. It divides up nicely into 3 1-bedroom, 3 squares on each floor. So,
Yeah.
folks all have functionally the same amount of square footage.
Mhm.
And again, limits. I don't know that these are going to be folks having large Thanksgiving dinners
No.
or Super Bowl party
No.
at the home.
I guess at this point, it might be appropriate to consult with our safety officer here, who might have, well, you are a police officer, but right now we're not expecting criminal activity up there, but you could speak to the traffic and the accidents and the intersection.
Well, definitely, just as everybody's stated, Hilltown Pike and New Galena Road is one of our higher accident locations, the sight line is,
Yeah.
that's the issue, is the sight line. We can't get Pico to move the poles. So that's the biggest issue. I mean, there's been a business there
Yeah.
for however long, so the traffic in and out hasn't really caused us a problem.
Okay.
It's the intersection.
It is.
So, you know, I don't have any concerns with whatever goes in there. I mean, it's,
It's back from the intersection of
it's the
the
intersection,
intersection itself that,
yes.
yes. I'm familiar with that intersection. Anybody else have any other comments or feedback or?
No.
Let's see what we have out in the audience.
Yes?
I'm Ronald Meckel. I live in that development. And my concern is also with the intersection. But how much are they gonna be rented for? Is it gonna be like $1,000 a month, or is it gonna be $5,000 a month for the apartments? And trash, what are they gonna do with the trash? If they're gonna put a big trash receptacle in there, how's the truck gonna get in and out? So
That's
there's
actually
a couple of my concerns right off. I haven't even seen the plans. I just heard about it today that they were gonna, and I have no problems with them developing that property. I have more problems with the amount of people that would be traveling through. Because my son probably goes to about 8 different accidents at that corner every year. Because he's with the fire company. So, I know.
Craig, do you have any commentary on, I'm not certain, I'll defer to our solicitor that it's our concern or business to ask what they're gonna rent for. But certainly trash and other services for the rental property.
I mean, depending on what type of improvements they do, which I think they're not proposing really any site work. Scott and I have discussed it before, whether or not it's even land development. So those issues may not come before you again. This is purely zoning and they only ask for zoning right now.
And I'm sorry, we're just a sketch
Yeah,
submittal.
yeah. So, that kind of stuff, I mean, that doesn't usually come in front of me or this board as far as I understand is concerned. It's a tight site. To me, the biggest issue you've already touched on is parking. Some of you, and I agree with my staff and I discussed trying to separate the travel lane, maybe with a landscape island or something to separate the parking from the travel lane. That just takes away more area for the parking. So, that we did discuss with them public water. They've agreed they have to do that per the building code. So, really and I mentioned before, I asked the same questions about the number of units and trying to reduce the parking and, they gave the same answer. So I've heard all this before. I support it as well as far as the concept and what's going on, but I do agree with your concerns. Do you know how many variances you're gonna need as far as? Not that we count, but you need
No, I mean,
significant relief.
Yeah, I mean, so generally the variances are all dimensional as far lot size, setbacks, and specific dimensions as to the existing lot.
But the use is, and I think you've asked me this before, the use is permitted. It's just the lot's too small. But in this type of, in other municipalities, this type of use redevelopment, these are the issues you always deal with. There's got to be some give and take. Now, you had pressure. We've had other developers come in before it was bought that were trying to do something similar and they all went away. Obviously, he has not, but some of the same concerns they had as well. They were trying to get more units in than even 6 for financial reasons.
So, and thank you, Craig. And what we'd really like to make sure we do this the right way.
Yeah.
And this isn't a scheme that we're saying 6 and, this is what Mr. Chant really wants to do. And what if I may, if a sensible next step would be to meet with the fire chief or fire marshal to talk through their concerns and then determine whether or not we go to the PC or the EAC before even submitting a zoning application.
No, I'll jump in right there. I recommend you meet with the fire marshal, and then I recommend you submit your zoning application, and they're gonna make an official determination of whether they're gonna oppose it or not. If they oppose it, you don't need to do all the other stuff, and that will only be land development. So, this was a first blush. I think it was a good idea to come and present. I think you need to submit your application, come back, and you'll officially know where they stand, and then you can go from
Yeah,
there.
and we'll look at everything that's been mentioned, and along with, you're probably used to seeing in a conditional use application that comes before you, there's reasonable conditions. What we might do is, if we take a look at some of these things, propose a set of conditions for the Board of Supervisors consideration along with the zoning hearing board application to try to answer and resolve some of these concerns.
Is there any other public comment?
Regarding this.
I'm a 40-year veteran of the post office, how are they gonna get mail? Probably a little money.
From the mailman?
I'll have to consider how they're gonna be able to serve it.
Well, put the boxes outside so you can drive in,
And that'll jack up the traffic for a few months. I'm just,
if you drive into the lot, they'll stop the traffic?
and then he can't turn around, he's not allowed to back up.
Huh?
Post office vehicle is not supposed to put himself in reverse.
Wow, I saw 3 of them violate that on Saturday then.
That's the regulation.
I got nothing for you.
So we'll have to talk to the postmaster and,
You should,
yeah,
because you'll probably put a cluster box in,
absolutely.
but that
Yeah.
I didn't know if you're going to put it out on the road or into your.
Right in the front.
Into the lot itself.
Yeah.
Right in the front, you can pull in.
Somewhere
Scoop
somewhere they can not even have to enter the lot if
Yeah.
it's out just
Right
on the edge of the right of way line.
Mhm. I think we can solve that
We
one.
can figure that one out.
Any other comment? Board of Supervisors? Thank you for coming in. I've got some ideas and it's an interesting idea.
Thanks.
I hope it works.
Thanks for your time and feedback.
Sure.
Have a good evening.
Yep, thanks.
Next, number 5 on the agenda is the motion to consider the consent agenda. Item A, approve the minutes of April 6, 2006 Board of Supervisors meeting. B, approve the regular bill list as follows, dated April 16th and April 30th, 2026, for a total amount of $188,618.63. C, approve prepaid bills list as follows, dated April 9th, April 16th, April 23rd, and April 30th, 2026, in the amount of $302,095.16. Do I have a motion to approve this? A second?
Second.
Calling the motion, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Number 6, action items. Consider a motion to adopt Resolution 2026-05, appointing the finance director as the pension CAO. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any board comment or discussion?
Would you like to explain, Alex?
We have got a finance director that's making work.
This came up during our pension audit for 2021 through 2024. It's just helpful because it gives me access to go in and pull a lot of the records that the state auditor might need. I'm also able to see, who's part of the pension plan, who's receiving payments, all that good stuff. Former CAO was Kristen, our former finance director. So
And the pension CAO means,
Chief Administrative Officer.
thank you.
Sorry.
Is there any public comment? Hearing none, I'll call the motion. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Action item B, consider a motion to hire Keystone as the building inspector and code enforcement officer.
you like me to handle that?
Terry, would you care to
Sure.
discuss that?
Well, Randy Teschner, your current building inspector, will be retiring on June the 5th. 40 years here with the township. I find that quite remarkable.
Yes.
Rather than replacing him with another full-time employee with benefits, we think the better way to go is to hire a company that specializes in these types of services for local government. In this particular case, we're recommending that the board hire Keystone Municipal Services to provide not only building inspection, but also code enforcement. We think that will, and over the long haul, be very just more productive for the township overall, certainly help our zoning officer in a lot of different ways. Again, these would be that we already have someone from the company that we've interviewed. He meets all of our requirements. So our recommendation to the board would be to hire Keystone, starting, I said a week before, Randy will be retiring June the 5th. So let's say just roughly the week before. And that would allow us to have a transition period, indoctrination period with the new building inspector.
Do I have a motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second?
Second.
Any commentary from the board?
No.
No?
Any commentary from our
I have,
experts?
yes, Madam Chair, just clarification. Their rate schedule in their proposal includes other services such as zoning administration, fire marshal services, all the rest related to code and what Terry mentioned. I know there was some discussion with prior staff about other services, and I think that's why they include that. But just to be clear, tonight is just what Terry mentioned.
We're talking about, yes,
Building only.
but if at some point in time in the months to come, if the board wants to avail themselves of any one of those other services, they have produced their rate schedule for you. So
And most likely that was leading my second, and most likely it'd be a different individual because the resume, his qualifications are building only. So it'd most likely be someone else that they would, whether it's fire marshal or zoning. So
Okay.
just to clarify, because I know we had discussed it even before Terry was here and it was nice that they got to interview and actually meet the individual. So, and he's definitely qualified.
Does that bring up any additional commentary from the board? Any other questions?
No.
Is there any public comment? Yes.
Person inspect both residential and businesses?
yes, he will.
What are the consequences if somebody does not pass the inspection for residential?
Get a stop work order.
Sorry?
They'll get a stop work order. If they're not passing, are you saying about this?
An existing residential house.
And it's being inspected for,
In terms of going to
Sell their home?
sell.
Resale.
Resale,
Okay.
yes.
The use and occupancy. That's that
Oh, I
one
can
other
stand.
person.
Yeah, so it depends on the type of violation. So there's a state law, it's called the Municipal Code and Compliance Act. Basically, there's certain things we can look at, certain things we can do. It has to be sort of a substantial violation, meaning it would if someone were to move in, threaten life, safety, things like that. We can stop them from moving in, but when they sell the house, if there's a violation, the new owner has 1 year to rectify it. So under the state law. So we have to follow that. They would get, if it's not a situation where we can prevent them from moving in, they'd have 1 year under a temporary certificate of occupancy. So they just would have to rectify it at the sale.
Would that include that sewer inspection that
Mhm.
was discussed at some point?
Correct, but this person would not be handling that. That's handled by the authority, yes.
Right, calling the motion, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Action item C, consider a motion to add movie night as a new township event. Would you like to talk about that, Al?
So on behalf of Sue Gill, we were talking about adding another township event to our list. And we want to try and utilize our park more and also tap into our green facilities. So, New Britain Borough actually talked to the school about having a movie night later this summer and asked if we wanted to join it. So we said, absolutely, but we have to ask. Then we kind of want to add it to our things we can do. We used to do this, from what I've heard in the past, but then it disappeared. I'd like to bring it back. Resurrect it.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. We used to attend years ago, so it'd be nice to have it back.
I will second that. I think that's a great family.
Any commentary, any discussion by the board?
I will bring up the fact that, as you said, we did have it many years ago.
Mhm.
Problem was that stays light so long.
You have to start pretty late.
You have to start pretty late.
Mhm.
Weather, of course, is a big problem when you commit to certain days or whatever. And then just coordinating with the company to get the movies you're gonna rent. And, you know, some you can get readily available, other ones that people may really want to come out and see, just they're too expensive, so, but we can try it again, see what happens.
Calling the motion, all those in favor?
Motion.
Aye. Sorry, before I do that, any
Need a
public
motion.
comment?
Do we have a motion?
We did.
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
I First,
Okay.
I
Need a
second.
motion?
Yeah.
Any public comment? Okay, calling the motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. D, consider a motion to approve First Amendment to option and lease agreement between New Britain Township and SBA Towers 3 LLC. Scott?
Yeah, so this is the cell tower on Schoolhouse Road over by West Branch Park. There's current one expires December 15th, 2033. They're just getting ready to renew it. It'll be for 5 additional 5-year terms, beginning after 2023.
2033.
2033, excuse me, yes. Beginning this year, actually, the rent will rise to $1,850 per month, with a 3% annual increase. They'll be paying with the First Amendment, they'll pay a $10,000 bonus payment upon signing to us. That's pretty standard with throughout the industry. And right now there is one cell service on there, that's T-Mobile. And if with each additional one, it's an additional $300 a month in rent if more come on. This is a small one. It's been there since 2010, 2009, 2010, excuse me. A lot of different numbers there. But with 2010, I mean, so 16 years you've had one, it's a smaller one. So I don't expect more unless they come to expand it, but it's good to have that in there anyway. So any other questions?
Any questions or discussion by the board? Any questions or public comment? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2026-0, I'm sorry. The motion to approve the First Amendment to option and lease agreement for the SBA Towers 3.
Make that motion?
Calling the motion, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
E, consider a motion to approve resolution 2026-06, joint tax collector with the Borough of New Britain. Scott, would you care to?
Yep.
Yeah.
The New Britain Borough tax collector resigned, just trying to do the formal arrangement under the applicable laws they've had in the past where our tax collector, we created the joint tax collection district. So the New Britain Township tax collector can also collect the borough taxes until the next municipal election.
Okay.
Pretty unfortunately common in the last decade or so that it happens with smaller municipalities. They don't have a tax collector. This is probably at least the 15th one I've done. Yeah.
Any comment or discussion? The board? No? Any public comment? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2026-06?
So moved.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Calling the motion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
F, consider a motion to approve settlement stipulation for 400 High Point Drive. Scott again.
Yes, this is a tax assessment appeal filed by the property owner. It's in the industrial property over on High Point Drive, about 2 in from Upper State Road. They negotiated the settlement with the school district. It is going to lessen the assessment, but judging by the fact that the school district negotiated, they have the bulk of the real estate tax revenue. We recommend approving it and allowing it to go through. And they will receive a refund in the amount of approximately $15,000, just under $15,000, $14,836.70, which is about 10% of what the school district will be paying.
Any questions from the board? Comment? Any public comment, questions? Do I have a motion to approve the settlement stipulation for 400 High Point Drive?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Calling the motion, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Information items, departmental reports. Mr. Nagy.
Hi. So I'll be going over financial statements again for March of 2026. Township's about 25% of the way through its fiscal year, and the finances are right on track with where they're supposed to be. All of our major tax revenues, including real estate tax revenue, earned income tax, and local services tax, are performing in line with expectations. Keep in mind that real estate tax revenue is expected to spike in April. As you know, I think you get a 2% discount if you pay your real estate taxes by April 30th. So that's why we get the bulk of it by the end of April. So look forward to that. As for expenditures, our general fund expenditures stand at about 23% of budget, so we're well within our expected levels. As for ongoing projects, our monthly financial reports are continuing to improve. As you've probably seen in the latest ones, all the revenue categories have been updated. Now I'm just working through the expenses. Department heads will be getting their own customized reports soon as well. As for our audits, we just wrapped up, or just about wrapped up, our 2025 regular audit. Shout out to Alex and Kim for helping pull all that information together. Thank you very much. For the narrative, if there's anybody from the EAC here, thank you for your information about the open space plan that I reached out to. But yes, all the paperwork's been submitted. We should be getting that final audit shortly. The 2021 through 2024 pension audit, we just had our closeout meeting with the auditor on site. He's now submitted that report to the state. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll get that report back, at which point I'll report the findings to you. And third audit, we just got engaged for our liquid fuels audit for 2025. All the audits.
Penny in per pound. Let's go for it.
So he will be in the office on Thursday. I don't expect anything crazy from that one. Our liquid fuels audits are pretty straightforward. And last but not least, escrow statements. We have completed a redesigned escrow statement. Shout out to our engineer and solicitor for their feedback on what those statements look like. So thank you guys. Hopefully we'll be getting them in to our clients in the near short term. So, and that's it.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments?
I just wanted, since I had asked you about it last week, and in case someone had asked about the fire post that the Shelfbrit EMS, could you just explain a little bit what they were commenting about from New Britain Township?
Absolutely. So what we're going to be doing is typically we make the payments to our ambulance companies and our fire companies, all 6 organizations, quarterly. This month, because we're getting so much tax revenue at the end of April, I am going to be doing a 1-month payment to all 6 organizations. Because again, we just received all that tax revenue. There's no reason for us to hold it. We might as well just pass it along to all those organizations. And then after this month, they'll still get the Q2 with just 2 months and then continue onward for the rest of the year. So basically, they're just getting their money a little bit sooner, but we're not giving them any extra money. It's just what we've already budgeted and planned to give them.
Thank you.
And the money that goes to them is from real estate tax, the millage, and from the LST.
Correct. Dedicated millage out of our real estate taxes, and then I want to say it's a quarter of our local services tax, I believe.
But it's a pass-through. It's not anything.
Correct, correct.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Police, chief.
Yes, Madam Chair. So we do have an item for discussion, Maple Avenue traffic study.
Yes.
We've gotten numerous complaints from residents and township officials about Maple Avenue, the concerns of speeding, cut-through traffic. So we conducted the study late last year. Basically, and you have a copy of the study in your report, in your packet. But there's an average of, well, first of all, Maple Avenue is approximately a quarter of a mile long between County Line Road and New Galena Road. So it's residential, but like I said, it's a cut through. So we found that there's an average of 622 vehicles per day that travel on Maple Avenue. 54% of those vehicles are above are at an enforceable speed limit, which is 11 miles over the speed limit. And fortunately, we haven't had any vehicle or pedestrian crashes over the last 15 years. We have done some enforcement there over the past 10 years. Not extensive, but there have been some violations. It's kind of hard for us to sit there, being as it is a small area, and actually be able to enforce some of the violations because people see us right away. Hopefully they slow down. So our recommendation for Maple Avenue is to have a qualified traffic engineer be retained to evaluate the roadway conditions and determine the most appropriate treatments or course of action for Maple Avenue.
Any comments? Discussion?
I would just say this has been something, obviously, you know, that I've been interested in for a long time. And while there hasn't been, to my knowledge, any pedestrian accidents, I've seen a lot of near misses. Mr. Meckel out there in the audience, I'm sure he can attest to that as well. Just being nearby, coming up from Greenwood and turning onto Maple, sometimes it's hard with people speeding and they may not realize that Greenwood is in there. So this is something that I'm just very glad that we're having done, and pets have been hit, which I know pet is not a human, but to some people, they're very important to their families. So we have at least one older gentleman who I frequently see walking up and down to get his exercise. And I'm always nervous when I see him because I don't want anyone to hit him. And so I'm really glad that we are at least exploring this and looking into the safety because it's a lot of traffic for our little road. So thank you.
No comment? Bill?
You know, them putting in something like, in quotes, speed bumps, speed tables, that's the only thing that would slow them down, but we don't want to do that for practicality's sake.
Well, that's why our recommendation is to have a traffic engineer actually look at it and determine what's the best course of action. There should be some type of traffic calming measures.
Stephanie? My comment is I'd be in favor of getting that done. I noticed from the report that numerous items were mentioned as possibilities. And I agree with the conclusion that the real only thing that we can do to calm traffic is speed tables. There's just not enough road and I don't think things work very well when you're making cars swerve around them. I'm not in favor of that.
But those swervy things.
So I think a well-marked speed bump. So I would agree to hire a traffic engineer from some organization.
Just some random organization. Maybe.
Perhaps Gilmore.
I'll have Les
perhaps Gilmore, our engineering firm, to conduct, to further look at what we can do to calm traffic there. And I know we're talking about Maple Avenue, but there are other areas and other streets that I can also point out that we need to do the same thing for, but that's not in front of us tonight, so.
And we're constantly, Corporal Zelinski, who is our highway safety officer, he's constantly assessing different roadways. We get numerous complaints, for various areas, and we're addressing them through first trying to do our own, education enforcement, and then, we collect more data to see what exactly, we can do.
I just putting that out there because I know I've heard from other residents in the township that have, it's a cut through, and I just want them to know they're not forgotten either. I'm in favor of getting the traffic engineer study done.
So just a point of clarification that I briefly read the study tonight. There's several things that were touched on. I think you mentioned not just traffic calming, but truck restrictions, pedestrian movement, so forth. I don't think there's much you could do. There's for sidewalks and things like that, but we'll evaluate everything recommended in there and provide an engineering response, not only to the traffic calming, but to trucks cut through, because there's a lot of stuff going on with that street. It's also very narrow, by the way, 18 foot.
Yeah.
That would be one of the recommendations, to take a wider street and narrow it. So it's already narrow. It is going to be very limited to what you can do, and speed tables will probably be one of the few options. What? Roundabout, you want to sneak around by me? So yes, we'll look at all the recommendations and provide an itemized response as far as our engineering recommendation on each one.
Do we need to make a motion?
Excuse me?
Make a motion to get the traffic stuff.
approve it to be-
engaged.
So with the recommendation of the
With the
police
recommendation.
department for Maple Avenue.
That's it.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Wait, first. I'll make that motion.
Second.
There we go.
It's not really a motion, but that's okay.
But
Just
okay.
as long
Wasn't
as there's an
sure.
agreement.
Just
to it.
making sure.
Any comment, any further comment?
I did have one question. You said that you were doing more traffic studies. Do you go back to old ones to relook at different areas? Like, do you have like a catalog of where you have been and that if it's,
We've started to catalog
okay,
things. I'm not sure that we
formalized?
we didn't really, we just started actually doing them,
Mhm.
because Corporal Zelinski's going to some training. He's a road scholar. Tells me. So,
That's higher than an engineer, by the way. He doesn't need my sign off. He can take all the liability he wants.
so we're continuing to assess different areas, and then we have, I think there are one or two that over the past 3 years probably that may have come up again, but there was no real change.
Okay, then do you then go look out, instead of just one street, do you go look out to neighborhoods or areas that may interchange?
Yeah, it depends on the complaint.
Okay.
And it depends on what we're seeing as far as accidents.
Mhm.
That was our primary focus, was where are we having the most accidents? And then we basically have a list of areas right now that we're kind of looking at.
Cool, thank you.
I don't know where you'd put a roundabout on Maple
You're insane. No.
Oh, come on, you can.
Okay.
No, but the police are
All right,
welcome to come
so
to my driveway.
Let's,
anytime.
moving on.
Yeah.
I just had
Engineer's report.
Madam Chair, I had a couple
Yes.
of other things.
Oh, I'm
about
sorry.
my report, because I did want to let everybody know we're getting ready to do a coffee with a cop on May 27th at the Chalfont Village Shopping Center from 8 to 10. And we kicked off.
Is that the bagel barn?
No, that's I always call it the Skyline Shopping Center.
Okay,
Moving around the township.
we're going to the Skyline for coffee?
No, we're going to set up a tent, and then we have a coffee truck coming.
Okay.
So, And then also we kicked off a Christmas in July campaign, and what that is, we're going to be collecting back to school supplies. And then on July 24th or I think it's July 24th because it's a Friday, we'll be distributing them to kids that have been identified with a need.
And where could people who want to donate to that or find information? On your website? I
Yeah,
mean, on your,
we just posted it today, I believe, on Facebook. And then, but it's, yeah, all the donations can be brought to the police department.
And there's like a list of needed items.
Yes, we're compiling a list with one, we're working with one of those local schools.
Right, just so we donate or folks donate what is needed.
Right.
and of
Okay,
course,
great.
cash is always welcome too.
Yes.
Definitely. Because one of the things we're also trying to do is buy first day of school outfits. So that's one of the big things we're going to need some funding for.
Okay.
Right.
Anything else?
I believe that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you notice that you, one of our officers during Take Back Drug Day was in the Facebook page? I think it was the,
District Attorney.
that's it. I was gonna say Attorney General. I'm like, no, that's not it.
right.
Yeah,
District Attorney.
Bucks County District Attorney stopped
Yeah.
by and, yeah,
I
he
was
was,
trying to think how to tag you guys in it, so,
Probably at New Britain Township Police, no?
well, it's not my post.
Oh,
So the DA's stopped by here.
Yes.
Our take back.
Yeah.
Okay,
And they're in the post.
great job.
that was nice. I don't, okay. Anything additional?
we took back 281 pounds of drugs.
Oh, black.
Pounds.
281 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
See,
is our drug take back boxes too.
Okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That's good because it keeps it out of our waterways and trash and everything else. Okay. Engineers report, if we're ready to move on.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You have our April engineers report. I have just one update that happened on Friday. That's not in my report. I'd be happy to answer questions on that, but some good news, and unfortunately, I think one individual is not here that would like this update, but we had a field meeting out at Keller Road Bridge on April 23rd with Public Works, myself, Terry, and also a contractor who was representing ADM Welding and Fabrication, who actually was part of the installation of the original open graded bridge. So they traveled, he traveled 6 hours out to meet with, and been coordinating with Ryan. He's up in, I think, closer to Erie than he is even Pittsburgh. They are the one, they have the original grates that have been failing at the bridge. So on Friday, they submitted an email estimate to Ryan and to Terry and myself. And there's at least 3 sections that they could replace, re-weld, reattach. They're the ones that are making the noise, and also the ones with the structural deficiencies that PennDOT still approved. It was not structurally defective, but it is getting to that point. And that's why the noise is getting louder. So the estimate for their work to include the materials, the labor, the only thing they need, and remove the old grates, they need help with, and Ryan has agreed to do that, to have a backhoe or small excavator lift up and remove the old and put the new sections in. I think we're shooting for 3 sections that they quoted around 15,000. Actually, the actual number is $14,745. So for less than 15,000 of our time, 3 sections of the open grate, the entire span can be replaced. We did talk about alternates if that doesn't work, but for now, that is our recommendation. You did actually authorize the work back May 3rd, 2021 for Public Works to make all necessary repairs. All the repairs were not guaranteed to be permanent at that time. We got sidetracked on the Gabion Basket and Stream Channel project that took quite a while. I was also authorized to provide any support engineering-wise on the repairs to the entire structure. Scott and I did speak today, and he agrees with my recommendation that is a maintenance of an existing facility. So therefore, it's below the threshold for competitive bidding of 24,000, but it would require 3 quotes. In this case, it is a maintenance and repair that is needed. I'd even say it's an emergency repair. There's no bidding required, and I would just want to update you, there's no action needed tonight unless Scott disagrees with what I said.
Nope, we're in agreement. We're good.
So scheduled that Ryan will email out tomorrow, the contractor, and they're hoping within 2 to 3 weeks to have something set up. And I would turn it over to Ryan, maybe to update Alex and Terry, and then he can communicate with you directly. Most likely, I will not be involved. My structural engineer was there. We both provide guidance, but Ryan knows what he's doing, and the project manager was very nice and cooperative. And I think this is a nice thing. It's hard to get this anymore. We did make some calls ourselves to help out for materials, and no one wants to. It's a lot used for temporary facilities, for temporary bridges when new bridges are being done. So nobody wants to give up their old open graded bridges anymore, decking. So.
Okay. Terry? We'll take care of that then?
Get that
Thank
taken
you.
care of sooner the better.
You got a question?
I just would have one, there's a question, but I just would have one request. We had a resident who was very concerned about it. Can we make sure that she's aware that this is happening, please?
Can we please update her?
Probably know later tonight. But
Thank you.
Should I get an update?
I believe she has a neighbor here who.
yeah, there's a neighbor here too.
Drop a line to her or something, who's also lives not too far from the bridge. But we'll make sure that she gets notified that there'll be.
There's public comment.
Okay. We'll make sure she gets notified that we're moving forward with a repair. Any public comment on this?
Yeah.
Sure.
What happened to the PennDOT report? Was that ever received or still waiting for it? Last time I was here, there was a big thing about the.
Yeah, it was, there was no changes as far as, we weren't really involved. They just had an updated report. There was,
The report has been received.
I believe, yes. Yes, I believe Mr. Fox was not at the meeting and I wasn't aware that that was submitted, but nothing's changed from PennDOT's recommendation. They don't address noise.
Yes, we
Yes, they
received
have.
all, anytime PennDOT has done we've received the reports.
Yeah.
Sure. Any other public comment? Okay. Brings us to Board of Supervisors comments. Stephanie, I will start with you. Okay, Bridget, I will start with you.
No real special comments, just, the weather's warming up. Everyone, hope you're able to get outside and enjoy some fresh air, and maybe you'll be inspired by our lovely Bird Town presentation to plant some bird-friendly plants in your yard or something. Yep, school will be out before we know it, so everyone just be safe, and that's it. Thank you for everyone that's done all the work for all the reports to gather this information. It's been a very busy and productive meeting.
Cynthia?
So segueing onto that, we had the EAC had their rain barrel workshop on Saturday, which was very well attended, and everybody went home happily with their barrels and everything. It was great. Some will even be had come for the second time because they needed another barrel. So it was wonderful to have some people come back, and I thank all the EAC who's here to do that. Talking about native plants on Wednesday at 5:30 before our EAC meeting, there will be I'm trying to get the flyer up. The EAC will be having, here we go. Andrea Glang Polozniskova from Divine Earth Gardens. She'll be coming to talk about invasive species, how to transform your landscape with native plants. And if you're lucky, you'll even get a free plant. So it's here in this room at 5:30, and then the EAC meeting will be at 7. And then I'm going to say, so then I actually go to the Doylestown Bike and Hike meeting, which was Doylestown Bike and Hike meeting received, or Bike and Hike Committee received a award at PSATs that we all just attended. Was it only? No, it wasn't
Yes,
last
it was
week.
just a
2
few
weeks ago.
weeks.
2 weeks ago.
It's 2 years.
At their last meeting, the Board of Supervisors then had voted on and accepted to do a memorandum of agreement to try to extend their trail from, I'm gonna try and remember how to put it. It's from where New Britain Civic Place is, where the
Park, New Britain
the
Borough
park, yep,
That covered
go
bridge.
over the berm, over the,
Past cover bridge?
not, it's not near the covered bridge. It's actually on the plot of water
goes-
that's there.
You go through there's a pathway, a very large pathway that goes up to the reservoir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then you keep going over the reservoir and then you go out, they've talked to Bucks County and that they're going to be able to go around the reservoir, come around to Pine Run Community, and then that's where they end. And as the New Britain Township representative, I always get the question, is there any way that we can get from there to Lake Galena? So I would like to ask if we could get a 10,000-foot view to see if it is possible at all to somehow get from the Doylestown side over to Lake Galena.
You think that's something maybe parking?
We already looked at this years ago and we did a
I don't know if that'll be 80
fire
acres.
part of the property.
Where?
So there's,
What?
Iron Hill Road.
Oh, yeah.
Going to, and then
We don't have.
further up.
this
So,
goes further up to Pine Run to
Community.
basically across the shrine.
yes,
Well, yeah, well, then you gotta get the shrine to do it.
but that's where I'm saying, is it possible? Is it like, can we ask our engineers or someone and look at this high level? Terry?
We already have some easements crossing over,
Yep, that's on Iron Hill Road.
right.
But we've had residents who have said no. On Iron Hill Road, I'm talking.
There's
that
another
first one.
option. We haven't gotten that far.
What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. But I think, just thinking that if we
We'll hold off
close
on saying
that
that.
road by Pine Run
What?
Community, you've then got to get across Ferry Road. That
there's-
would be a very dangerous place. to
I have
try and
never been,
a-
in all the years, I've never been asked, you got cross ferry then, right?
Where it goes around the reservoir from.
Not Old Iron Hill, but Iron Hill Road itself is where the trail would come up from the reservoir.
Around the reservoir and then out to Pine Run Community. Anyway, I think we're a little past comments here, but it's just, the idea is there and we should pursue it.
That's all I'm asking
Okay.
for, is if
Yeah,
we
we-
can get a very high level idea, is it possible? Is there some way? I know that there is a road easement that's opposite Iron Hill Road, not Old Iron Hill, I think.
Hmm.
Iron Hill Road, but it's very steep. I don't know what the requirements are for steepness and stuff, so that's all. I'm just seeing if it would be something that the township would be interested in just having a very high level look at to see if it's
Yeah,
possible.
that's fine. We can look at that.
Okay.
Okay,
Bill, Supervisor Clements?
I have nothing at this point.
Okay. Stephanie?
No, Cynthia just mentioned, about PSATs. It was valuable, I think, for all of us to be out there with our fellow supervisors from across the state, getting our education in and getting to talk to other people about how they do things.
yep. I think we all came back with one or two ideas we'd like to talk to our staff with.
Sure. Yep. That's it.
As well as coming back exhausted, yes. Okay, I have two comments. One, I was over here on Saturday for our shredding event. And I was speaking with our VFW volunteers who were working to put mulch down, new mulch around the memorial out there.
Yeah, VFW. They have great service.
And I want to thank them for their service to do that. I was also asked about the possibility of putting up a 250th flag. They were talking mainly about their flagpole. And I would like to look into that. I will be getting in touch with someone about that. They had identified a flag that had veterans on it, and I think an eagle, and then the 250 flag, which would of course fly under. I need to know the size of the flags that we fly, because then you buy something of similar size. But while I was thinking of that, we also have our flagpole, and I think a 250th commemorative flag would also look very good out there, along with some bunting on our railings around the porch. Since this is a pretty big holiday, not as big as the holiday in 1976, which was the bicentennial, which is also the year I graduated from high school. But I think we should do something to celebrate, and put up some bunting and get a couple flags, etc. Anyone opposed?
Or not opposed, definitely not opposed. How long, are you talking like for the 4th of July parade or just to leave up?
Leave up
In
maybe
general?
from Memorial Day through the 4th of July parade, or the summer, or how longer it's gonna last.
They provided that they don't become tattered looking or anything like that.
However-
Yes.
However long they're gonna look, yes, and we can speak about tattered looking. I spoke with Alex about the bulletin board out front, but that's another story. I also want to make a statement to the community at large. There was an article in, I believe, the Bucks County Herald about Shelburne ambulance service. And various conversations with our new representative and the board, I can assure the residents that the Shelburne ambulance that serves New Britain Township and Chalfont is not going anywhere, despite what the article may have said. And that we will ensure that this community is served by both police, fire, and ambulance, because that is our job, to protect our residents and provide for their health, safety, and welfare. So the news of their demise is greatly exaggerated. That's all I have to say. And I believe, is there any additional public comment on anything that wasn't on the agenda? Please come forward.
Margaret Briggs, member of the EAC. I just wanted to also comment and thank very much, number one, Alex, because she is incredible with the amount of work that she does for us behind the scenes, with just meeting minutes and agendas and printing things for me at the last minute for the rain barrel. I also want to thank the Public Works people for bringing the rain barrels over to the Highlands Park. That was a big effort, and we appreciate that. I also want to recognize Kathleen Davis and Lucy, who's sitting right here, for their exemplary skills in writing for grants, because we've gotten two recently, one from Bucks Beautiful to help plant the pollinator garden that we're extending. That was over, let me look, $558. But more importantly, well, just as important, but more money, almost $6,000, $5,911.40 to plant trees in one of the basins that we had recommended a few months ago. And Neshaminy Watershed Association is managing the funding with that grant. I don't know all the specifics, but I know that Kathleen and Lucy put a lot of work into those grant applications, so saving money.
Well, thank you very much. And I can definitely say that we have a very, very talented and hardworking staff, and we're proud of them. Any other comment? Please come forward.
Mayor Rose Kennedy, I'm from Tower Hill Grove. This wasn't discussed tonight, but I just wondered if there's been any decision or recommendations on the warehouses that have been discussed at County Line Road and I think Walnut.
Yes, I'll.
Yep. So they had to go through to the zoning hearing board for a variance for their building height, as well as a special exception because they're putting part of it in the floodplain. Both of those were denied by the zoning hearing board. Their decision was just issued last Wednesday or Thursday. So from that date, the property owner theoretically would have, not property owner, excuse me, the developer, because they don't own the property yet, would have 30 days to appeal to the Bucks County Court of Common Pleas, but until that's resolved, they would be out of compliance with the zoning with regard to what their plans are. So as of right now, their relief was denied and they can't move forward without further intervention or changing their plans.
Curious.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Please come forward.
Deborah on 70 Keller Road. That was just a coincidence that the bridge came up. Anyway, this is kind of a zoning enforcement, but just Doylestown Waste Recycling on Route 313 Swamp Road. It's a very, very, very busy, active site. It's right where Curly Hill Road comes in there. And it's, it had a whole big zoning. I don't know if it went to ZHB or if it was just a variance or whatever. That goes back like 10 years or something now. Right?
Probably more.
Remember, because you were, I
think
always
it's
feel I
zoning
have a
here.
bad memory because it was on, went through planning eventually anyway, but it received a lot of conditions, conditional use maybe. It received a lot of conditions. I would think the township would be served by doing some sort of a check on what they're doing because it's extremely active and that's great. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it wasn't a little bit of a trash transfer station because I know some contractors that have said, you know, they'll just take all their stuff there. And I don't know, are they going to sort out shingles from old plywood, from this, from that? You know, take it there because they don't have to take it to the trash or take it however far they would have to drive north or south. So that is my one issue with, and it's a lot of traffic in and out. I don't care that the road's dirty. They send a sweeper out there. You know, I don't care what 313 looks like, but it's big stuff. And I will say that these vehicles are extremely careful. You can tell. I mean, they know they're pulling out into a, you know, a fast 2-lane highway. So it's not that so much. It's just the volume of stuff that is going on there. And if you look at it from a Google Maps, you know, you see, fine, yeah, they are sorting stuff, but there's a major weight scale there and big things go in and big things go out all the time. So that's my concern, one concern. If it's violating, you know, what was passed under the ordinance or the approvals. And if you look at it on Google's Maps and you go to the back, because, you know, that's right where the Hardy Aiken and the North Branch and all go down towards the lake. So it's a relatively sensitive environmental area. There are these, it looks like, just imagine like a big beach, okay? And it's maybe a quarter of the site or something cleared. And then it's got these items that are black, that are tall, that are standing. And they all have like a valve on. Not kidding. And you know me, I'm not really that iffy about things, but it's strange looking. So I would just suggest that, you know, I would appreciate if somebody could look into what they're doing there, just make sure they're within all their parameters. And it's a zoning thing, I guess. So, or maybe not, but.
Well,
Are you looking at that?
We've had.
I didn't have a chance to respond to you, and to be honest with you,
I
I was a little busy this afternoon. I haven't been in, so are these the same individuals that had problems with the clearing in the back with the trees, or is that a different property back there? So I have not been involved in it. I live up the street. I see everything that goes on, but the zoning officer you could, I don't know how you want to handle it, but typically you put in a request to have.
That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
I mean, if it's a trash transfer station, they're definitely not within their.
Yeah, they've never been in front of you or anything, so.
Not while I've been here. We have a form on the website.
Already put it in.
Okay.
A long time ago, and it got, no.
Okay.
Please don't ask.
Well, thank you. Thank you for letting us know that. As you heard tonight, we're hiring additional help in that area. So Terry, will you take care of a look into that?
Will do.
Thank you.
I do agree the traffic, I drive it every day.
Yes.
There has been a big increase of vehicles in and out. Doesn't mean anything's wrong. I'm just saying, I agree with everything you said.
Okay, all right. Any other public comment? All right, moving on to announcements. The Environmental Advisory Council Native Plant Demonstration will be Wednesday, May 6th at 5:30 PM here, as Supervisor Jones has announced. That will be followed by the Environmental Advisory Council meeting at 7 PM on May 6th. Mobile office hours for Representative Labs and Representative Monroe will be held here at the Township Building Wednesday, May 13th at 10 AM. We will be having a community e-recycle event at the building on Saturday, May 16th from 9 to 12 PM. On our website, there's items that you can bring for recycling. There is a small charge for certain items. Most items are free. We are canceling the Board of Supervisors meeting for May 18th at 7 PM. The Parks and Recreation Commission meeting has been moved to Tuesday, May 12th, as Tuesday, May 19th will be primary day here at the Township Building. Please remember to vote. Veterans Committee meeting is Wednesday, May 20th at 6 PM. And we're canceling the Zoning Hearing Board meeting for Thursday, May 21st. The township offices will be closed May 25th in remembrance of Memorial Day. And the Planning Commission meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 26th at 7 PM. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion to adjourn at 7:31.
And
8:31. Sorry.
Second.
I wish.
all those in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye.
We really need to change that clock.
Thank you. Come on, you don't think that was a half-hour meeting?
No.